Hello, welcome back to this new video. Today we're going to build the French Foot Artillery along with a Russian kit, so sit down and watch the video and enjoy it. So all the figures are done on this part. I've got the cannon ready and with the 6 figures of the first kit. So this one is called done, but I need only to fix, if I can take one, these little white dots on the legs and the arms, and on this side as well, on the back as well. But after that I can move on and place them on the model. And here I've got the other figures, and these are all the same, but where a lot of work to do. And you see here the cannons, they are going to be placed on top of these things, but I need to paint these side arms of the thing, of the cannon rack, or I don't know how you call it, and then I can move on to placing them on the model as well. But also I've to fix these. Let's see if I can take this one, fix the white dots or the blue dots in this case, and then that's ready too. So now we're having the wheels down on the table. I'm going to make the first card, and that's this one, and after that I will move on to paint these racks of the cannon, and then go. This section is done. We've got the ammunition card and we've got the cannon card. The ammunition card and the cannon card were quite tough to make because the wheels wouldn't fit, so I've got some things off, but we're here, and now we're going to move on to place them on with the horses and then the figures. We've got this ammunition card ready, but it was just really tough to make because it's quite hot in my room, because it's summer of course. But we've got it all done, and we can see here in the back the ammunition cart with 2, 4, 6 horses, and these also were quite tough to place into each other, but now they are sticking to each other, I hope so, and glued to one another. And now we're hoping that it's dry tomorrow or maybe in a couple of hours, and then we are going to fix the last pieces of blue dots on the actual model, and then it's fixed to place on the model. So that all the figures are done, and you can see them here on the table. I've got the first set of the first kit, and then the other 3 sets, or the other 3 spare of sets of figures for the second kit. And you can see here the card with the ammunition. You can see here the card with the cannon, and it turned out really great, and I'm so glad this worked out. So what we're going to do next is a other model, and I'm going to find it in the closet, and let's see if we can move on with it. I'm going to paint black first, as you can see here. I needed to paint them first black, and after that I can give the extra colors of the uniform to it. All the figures are now black, and as you can see it was a lot of work, but now the base is done and now we can paint them with these colors on. Moving on to these figures, I've painted them a lot further, and now we've got some extra colors onto the figures. We've got the pistols, the guns, the robes around their body and their legs painted, and the heads too. And now we're going to move on. As you can see here, we're going to move on to paint down the heads and the hands, so we can move on to create these figures. And I think with painting the heads and the hands, we only need to do the heads and I think some red dots, and then we're finished. And then the weathering, of course, but that's a later step. And as you can see here, I painted down also already the flag, and this flag is pink with green, and you can see it here. I'm just wondering why it was pink, because it's really bright in the field, but I will research that up and maybe I find the answer and I can tell you later. So this is the progress I made, and now I'm moving on to paint down the figures with the head and the hands. And now all the figures are done. I painted them all down on the table, and now the only thing I need is to weathering the final figures, and here you can see them all together and they're looking real great. It's cost me a lot of time, but as you can see here, the rest of the details on the suit, on the uniforms, I think this is a final product for the diorama. And you can see I've got one here, got another one here, and another one here, and then at final I've got these 4 figures, and you've got here the drum. Oh, I need to paint the drum first to finish, and you've got the flute, you've got the commander, and you've got the flag holder, and the only thing I need to do is weathering down them, and then it's finished. With the finishing product, we've got the figures of the Borodino Project, and here you can see the actual figures, and you can see the flag is now already done because we've got the black bird painted into the flag. And as you can see here, I painted down the weathering already on the figures, and now you've got a good looking, realistic picture of the Borodino figures of the Russian troops. And with these figures I wanted to create a model, but for this weathering I used this product of AK. It's dark streaking grime, and it's used for a lot of green tanks and stuff, but I think it's pretty good to paint down these figures, and yeah, I love them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint down these figures too, and maybe I can show you with taking a little bit of the streaking grime and paint it down over the commander. And as you can see, you can create in a very fast way the actual looking of the realistic effect of a weathering on it. And if I hold it now into the actual light, you can see the commander in a better way of weathering, and yeah, this way is really useful, and I think it's going to help you too, but you can try it on your own or have your own technique, and this one is for me the best. See, I've got now all the Russian figures down onto the table, and there are a lot of them, and I love it because with a great amount of figures I can create a big amount scale of a war diorama about the Borodino War, and it's going to be about the Raevsky Redoubt, and with these figures it's going to work, and I'm so glad it's all on the table now, and we need to finish it now into a diorama. We've got the base done, and now you can see 3 cannons looking into different directions. Now the only 2 looking forward, but the other one is looking to the side, and that's because I've looked into the Raevsky Redoubt, and as you can see I draw it a base model, and this was going to be the scene. This was the scene in that time, and we're trying to recreate this with 3 cannons and the hill below, and here you've got a hole where the enemy troops can land in and not enter the cannons, and behind the scene there will be a wall, probably around here, and then the Russian troops try to get in from the back to attack the French who captured this point. So we're going to finish this.